Hi, my name is Jason Soares, and welcome to DaBestBulls Ranch. This is Mr. President's daughter, and today we're going to go over puppies, Mr. President's litter, micro, mini, picking a puppy, all kinds of bulldog topics, heavy on the puppies, so make sure you stay tuned. So this right here is a Mr. President puppy. It's a female, and she's super nice. I'll show her off a little bit. She's gonna be a little scared. Super nice. I'll get some more content of her standing and stuff. We'll see that. Nice back, nice head, nice rope, all that. Now, it's Mr. President daughter, and he's the stud, and he's a micro. So there's a big chance that this girl could be micro or mini, but 100% I would say, not 100%, there's never 100%, that she's gonna be mini or micro, but that's a huge chance. Now, when people tell you the dog's gonna be a micro, the dog's gonna be a mini, don't ever take it to the bank unless the dog's obviously older. This is a 5.5-week-old puppy, so I have a very good view on what it's going to grow up to be. I'm experienced with it and seeing my line, seeing development, but I can't guarantee it's going to be a micro or a mini. She is staying small. I would say she's going to be right in that window, and I can say that because I have so much consistency, so much proof from before, and I've seen it so many times, and I know her mom and her dad, and we have solid bloodline, especially on her dad's side. Mr. President is our micro boy. He's 10.6 inches tall, 27 pounds, and lilac tri, and he is a micro, true micro, under 11 inches. And his dad was a micro. His mom is a mini micro, almost micro, but she's a mini. And her dad and mom were minis and close to the micro line. So there's just so much consistency there, and that plays into the puppies, because even though a mom and dad are the strongest genes for a puppy, you're gonna see the grandma and grandpa from both sides come out in the puppies too. And if the grandma and grandpa is weak, small, big, whatever, you're gonna see that stuff come out. And the more you have of what you want, for example, Mr. President is micro, his dad's micro, his mom's mini, all the parents and grandparents and great parents are mini and micro. So Mr. President's, whatever part of the puppy it gets from Mr. President is going to be on a very small lines, very good structure, and that's why you see consistency. And when you see this whole litter, that's like the real proof that a stud is good, and you can pick a stud that way because you're seeing a whole litter good, not just one puppy, and that shows the consistency in their lines. And this girl is, awesome, really, really nice. I know a lot of people ask me the price of my dogs and stuff, and they like to just comment on the videos, what's the price? I don't really answer that question, and not because I'm scared to tell you the price, but I want better questions. I'm not just trying to sell someone just because they have, oh, what's the price? That's not the first question you ask, there's a lot of other questions you should ask with a puppy. It's how old are they? What do the parents look like? Are they healthy? Or this, that, and then we get into price, and all things, because price shouldn't just directly go with what you're gonna get. If that's the case, then probably shouldn't be getting from me, because there's all kinds of things that all kinds of criteria as a good dog owner that you should go over other than price. And I know price, that's a big factor, because sometimes we can't afford more, but still I just don't answer people just what's price, I want more engagement than that. And because I really have turned down people to get my puppies because I don't think they're going to be a good home there, or and I want my puppies to have good homes. Again, to reiterate, there's no guarantee you're going to get mini or micro, but you raise your chances, and statistically speaking, higher and higher, the more solid the lines are, the more solid the program is. And that being said, I'm going to go over my 3P rule, how to pick a perfect puppy, and I've gone over it before, but I want to reiterate a couple things. So, how to pick a perfect puppy for you. There's no such thing as a perfect puppy, but there's a perfect puppy for me, a perfect puppy for you, whatever you're specifically looking for, your criteria, your image in your head. Now, how to pick a perfect puppy, 3 Ps. First P, and I'm listing them in order of importance. First P is the program. Second P is the parents' pedigree, it's the same one. And third P is the puppy. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, it doesn't matter what the program is, you want the parents and the puppy. It actually does. It's a huge topic. Just knowing that the program you're getting from is ethical and truthful carries a big weight, because if that's not the case, then the parents of the puppy that you're getting, that they're showing you, aren't even the parents, could not be the parents. So that's a huge thing. So the ethics, the trustworthiness of the program you're getting is a huge thing, because they can lie. You can forge paperwork and do all kinds of things. So you want to make sure, just like a mechanic, you want to have an ethical mechanic, because they can say they did stuff or they can hurt your car and then say it's fixed. If you don't have an ethical mechanic, then it doesn't matter how good they are, because they can do bad things and they can mess you up. So program is number one. On top of that, on just the trustworthiness, program's number one because the proof is there. You can see their program, you can see their puppies, you can see what they produce, you can see reviews on them, you can see social proof, you can see years of production, years of puppies, years of studs, years of females, how they're treating their dogs. Do you agree with that? People that don't like to eat meat that's been abused and treated bad. It's the same thing with puppies. Like, I wouldn't want to get a puppy that is getting from a puppy mill, from, like, I don't want to say any countries, but some South American and Central American countries have puppy mills, and I wouldn't want to support that, because they literally let their dogs die and stuff. And even if it was a nice puppy, not say that, but I just don't want to support them. So that's a huge thing. The program is huge, in my opinion. You can argue with me. People have argued with me about that in the past, like, pedigree and puppy are more important. It's not, because you don't really know pedigree, and if you don't have a true program. Next, number two is the pedigree / the parents. The parents are number one in the pedigree, and then you go down the pedigree to grandparents, all that. Pedigree is super important, because you have to know what the parents look like. Are the parents healthy? What the temperament is? All of that. And then last is the puppy. You have to see the puppy. Does it move right for the puppy? Does it look good? Is it what I want? But don't get mesmerized by the puppy, because program and pedigree are more important. So I wanted to go over that, because I've had people say, the program is not the most important. It is. It definitely is. That's why people buy from Ferrari and don't buy some kit car from some guy in the backyard who made it that goes just as fast as Ferrari, or it says it goes just as fast. You get from the reputable person. So super important. Do your due diligence whenever getting a puppy. Ask people, ask friends, ask other breeders. If a person is mean to you, rude to you, probably not for you. There's all kinds of little things, Just like it's you want to make sure that you do the right thing, and make sure on number one you don't get scammed. Okay, especially I am, and I can say this. I'm not proud of it, but I'm the most impersonated bulldog person in the world, if not the most impersonated dog person in the world. They impersonate me nonstop. My pictures, everything, pretend to be me. And so if you ever want to deal with me, you have to make sure you FaceTime me. You have to make sure I'm answering questions that you're asking, and it's not some pre-recorded video that they're using right now of me and trying to send it to people, So talk to me on the phone, FaceTime me, see my stuff, ask for certain things, and for me to do it. And if I don't do it, it's a pre-recorded video. But that being said, Mr. President is showing off. We haven't used Mr. President much, because in our program, he's used a lot all around the world. In our program, because I've been trying to produce another Escobar and using Escobar and Fury's lines more. But President, obviously, President on paper has the best bloodline in my whole facility. Like, most consistent, solid bloodline. And it shows right here. You're going to see the rest of the puppies too, how solid they are structurally, muzzle, head, rope, super good. So let's get into puppies. Let's sit down, take out some puppies, and show them off and talk everything puppy related, care. These are 5.5-week-old puppies, so let's get into that right now. All right, so DaBestBulls Life is a family thing. We're training Leah to start taking care of puppies. We have Sarah here as well to help out. So, Leah, help. Okay, so I'm going to show you the puppies. Now, it's funny, cowboy, camera guy, and I'm going to grab them by the scruff. It does not hurt them, especially when they're this young. It does not hurt. Now, Cowboy just said they're copy and paste. And that's awesome. That's like that's a huge compliment. He said they're all like identical, which is a big compliment that Mr. President was able to produce so well. So these are the puppies. Oh, like this. And I'll take them out. You can see the structure. Like, look at this one. Is this the girl I had earlier? No, it's not. That's her sister. Nice back. Everything. Leah wants to play with them. Leah can play with them. Now yeah, Leah, be nice. Leah has to be taught nice. You can hand me another one. I'm going to take this boy out. This is a boy right here, big boy. He's actually going to, I think, Cali. Very nice. Look at the back structure, the stance. You know, I love videos because it's hard to lie, and you see a lot of people like posing dogs and posing puppies. These dogs are just nice, you know. Now, oh, look at this girl. I love, no, give me the black girl. I'm going to bring them all out, but they're all just super nice. Look at this girl right here. Crazy nice girl. You can just keep handing them to me. Just make sure Leah doesn't get bit. All right, look, we're going to put them on your, and then when you hand them to me, get your phone and portrait picture. My phone's in my pocket. What? This is what we do. This is like live video. We're getting content. We're getting everything. Okay, so here it is. Take pictures now. So now, let's get some pictures. Probably from right here. Get like right there. Portrait, yeah. 3, 2, 1. Start taking them, and then do video as well.
You want it too, or just Lee in the front?
All of it. All of us.
Hi.
These puppies are all little carbon copies, which is awesome. Shows the consistency of Mr. President. I'm gonna take a couple. We'll put a couple of them back. I don't know. Let's take this girl back right here. Just to get a couple out of my way. Now, these are 5.5-week-old puppies. Now, 5.5-week-old puppies require extremely cautious care in the sense that you have to pay attention. All puppies do, but I mean they're still very weak. Look at this boy's structure, man. I just love it. And this girl, amazing. I might keep her. Crazy good structure. Now, the reason being is they're still very weak, still don't have immunities, still can get sick easy. All kinds of bad things can happen. So it's very important to pay extremely good attention to them. And because one wrong thing, if it gets, goes a little bit too far, they can weaken them and they can die. And that being said, one trick that helps you pay attention to puppies more is obviously touching every single one. Put your hands on them, like I always talk about, attention. And 2, another person. For example, Sarah came up to me 2 days ago and said the black puppy has an eye infection, and I didn't see that. So if I didn't see that and it went another day or 2, even though I pick her up and I see one side of her, it could have got really bad. I'm gonna hand you her. And it could have went really bad, and that's not good. There's this puppy right here, and she noticed it because she's just paid attention to different things other than me, or maybe saw it. So the more eyes, the better. And sometimes people will give you advice that's wrong, like, say this is wrong, but that's fine because at least you're getting to bring it in and it's an angle you didn't see, and now you can assess it. In Sarah's case, she's very good. She was right, so we treated the puppy's eyes better. But could have been really bad if it went another day or 2 because things happen quick. So it's very important to pay super good attention. Now, with 5.5-week-old puppies, and the reason they had eye infection is just like, I'll tell you the other problem too, is the eye infection is from when they're on mush, the milk and wet food mix. They put their face in there, it gets in their eyes, and then creates an infection. And then maybe another puppy's toenail got in their eye. All kinds of things can happen. Also, you have to be careful. You can zoom in, Cowboy. You can see like this puppy has milk all over its head. We just fed them. So it has milk dried up all over the head. You have to keep them clean because if that milk dries enough times, it starts to kill all the fur and create rashes and stuff like that. So it's another thing you have to watch out for. And that's the most important thing with the 5.5-week-old puppies. On top of that, sickness. I don't let anyone come in my house that has dogs. And if they do, they have to be totally clean. Their feet have to be clean, everything. Something you have to watch out for. So I'm in Central Florida. South Florida right now has a huge outbreak of parvo. It was on the news. I have friends that have that got parvo in their with their dogs, and people get cocky with my dog has the what's it called, immunities, that has the shots. Parvo can still, that just helps. But even a dog, and I've seen it. I've had dogs that happen. When I first started my program, someone brought a dog that had parvo to our house, killed like 4 puppies and 3 adults. 3 adults that had 4 sets of the shot for the immunities. So different strands of parvo and viruses can still kill your dog, even if they have the shots for it. The shots just help them, not get it. I'm gonna put these puppies back. Ugh. But I'm just gonna hold her. She's my favorite. I love her. I know everyone likes the Merles and stuff, but this Merle's awesome, but I like this black one the best. And this boy, this boy's awesome. The boy's awesome. The boys are always really nice because they're just better structured. You know, the boys are gonna be a better structured. If you want a pet, I always recommend boys. I know people have their preference for girls, but I like the boys. But that being said, let's go back to parvo. Parvo is a big problem, super deadly, one of the most deadly viruses that there is. And once your dog gets it, it's very bad. So you have to be very careful. So now there's an outbreak in parvo in South Florida. I had people come to do a breeding with Fury last night, and I didn't even let them out of the car because the thing about parvo is parvo can live in the environment for up to a year. It doesn't have to be on a dog, and most of the time it's tracked like on your feet and stuff. So and they wanted to come in to the facility, so I made them sanitize. We sprayed their feet with like this bleach cleaner and stuff like that. Did everything. And I let them walk in there and not touch anything, and walk back out because they wanted to see, the facility. And that's because I honestly didn't. They only have one dog, and I didn't believe they even had parvo. But still, being cautious because parvo can kill adult dogs that have been vaccinated. Can kill puppies like crazy. It's just very, very, very dangerous. So that being said, anyone that you think could that has a bunch of dogs or has been places like dog parks, stuff like that, don't let them in when you have puppies. Even if you have a puppy that has, one vaccination, 2 vaccinations. And even for those of you that just get a puppy and you have a puppy, it's your pet, do not take your dog to any dog parks, any other place where dogs can come in contact with your dog because they can get sick. And before your dog's fully vaccinated, they are extremely susceptible. So most sicknesses, bacteria, viruses, all those things, fungus come from touching other dogs, 1, and 2, fecal matter, poop, throw up. If the dog touches it with their nose, sniffs it, they can get it as well. So it's very important that when you have puppies, let's say you live in a complex or a housing community or whatever, and you walk your dog out and it's not fully vaccinated, which are the most susceptible ones, you take it to places that hasn't been dogs, or no poop, no throw up, nothing. Try your hardest to do that because obviously dogs that have been vaccinated are a lot more immune to problems, but puppies are very, very susceptible. So you gotta be very careful. And when the puppies are this age, just 5.5, 6-week-old age, you want to check their eyes, make sure they don't get eye infections. You want to check their ears, make sure they don't get milk in their ears and have infections. If they do get a little redness in their ear, I would definitely do the self-drying ear cleaning. And if it gets anything worse than that, I would get some antibiotics, or I would use New Stock. New Stock's really good too. I've done videos on New Stock, and they could drip that in their ear as well too. That's for the ears. That works really well. So I know I'm talking fast. I always talk fast. Make sure you let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. If you want me to clarify anything, I'll do a video for you, or I'll just clarify in the comments. Also, make sure you follow us. Click subscribe. Click the bell so you get the alerts. Follow us on TikTok, DaBestBulls. It's DaBestBulls at TikTok. It's at DaBestBulls. Facebook, I'm not really on Facebook. Don't even try Facebook. It is all scammers. YouTube, DaBestBulls Ranch, and Instagram at DaBestBulls Ranch. So make sure you follow us and all that. All the puppies are solid. This one's my favorite. This one's my pick of the litter. Female, super nice, stacked up. I love you. But this shows the consistency. I mean, you can see President killing it, and just going over little things. Now, I'm just going over, 5, 6 week old. All the stuff I'm talking about, especially for the care, is for that age of puppies when they're on the milk. And this is around the 4 to 5 week old age is when the mom really can either, 1, stop producing milk, or 2, wants nothing to do with the puppies. And you start feeding them mush. And our mush, we've done videos on it, but our mush recipe is goat's milk Espalac, warm water, and we use Blue Buffalo wet dog food. We mix it in there. Now, and I also will grind up some of our Canada Origin food and put it in there. But when you first start feeding your puppies mush, when they're 4 weeks old, 5 weeks old, whatever age you start feeding them, and before they even have a lot of teeth development, you want the mush to mainly be watery, like liquid, and they're just pretty much drinking it. As they get older, you start hardening it, like making it thicker and thicker, so they have to bite into it, chew into it, and then you're giving them water on the side, and until they're eventually eating kibble around 7, 8 weeks, small kibble, and that's the progression. Now, I know I'm talking fast, like I said before. It's what I do. I'm a fast talker. Look at this puppy. She's so cute playing me. There. But, zoom in, Cowboy. She's just playing me. Now, it's funny. So, I'm like picking all this dried milk off her. She needs a bath. They just got a bath, a full bath yesterday with soap. I'll give her a water bath, though. I wouldn't do soap on them every day, but you can do water on them every day, like, you know, rinse them off and stuff to get this dried milk off because they just dive their heads in and everything. It's a hassle. Her eye is still a little bit inflamed. What's up, boy? Rolls everything. But if you have any questions, leave them down below on the puppies. If you're interested in a puppy, I'm going to tell you right now, I usually have a list. If you want a puppy from DaBestBulls Ranch, you want a puppy from me, you're looking at months usually to get a puppy, unless you reserve early, and then you usually will expedite the process. But normally, no one gets any of our puppies unless they're reserved. We have a big list, and I don't run a puppy mill. I don't have that many puppies, so our demand is higher than our supply, and I like it that way. You know, I prefer to have, you know, obviously not be over pupped and stuff, because they require a lot of care, a lot of time, a lot of effort. I'm up at 3 a.m., 6 a.m., 12 midnight, all that stuff, taking care of puppies, checking on them. If they scream, cry, I'm going to check on them because one of the puppies is bullying another puppy, you know. So it's a full-time job, and it requires a lot of effort. But I love it, and this is what I chose to do. I don't recommend anyone who doesn't love this stuff. Appreciate your guys' support. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And let's get on to the next topic right now, which is going over all the craziness that happens in the dog breeding world. So, dog craziness, bulldog craziness, breeding craziness, puppy craziness. A common question you get is, why so expensive, or, you know, all those kind of, you know, dealing with price. And this is a disclaimer for people that are interested in buying a bulldog, and it's a disclaimer for anyone that's interested in trying to breed bulldogs to make money, you know. So my thing is, I don't think you should ever just do anything just to make money. You know, of course, there's like certain stipulations, like my friggin' kid needs this surgery, okay, I'll do whatever. But if you're picking something you want to do and like make a career out of, like, don't just do it just because it makes money, because if you don't like it, you're not going to do a good job of it, you know, and then you're not going to make money. So, like, the bulldogs I sort of fell into. You know my story if you've been watching me and seen my last episodes. I used to be a professional fighter. I had bulldogs my whole life since a little baby, and then just I started doing it slowly and gradually, and then, you know, making smart moves, and I got to where I am now. But it was years of hard work, years of total catastrophe, where parvo ruining my kennel, litters happening, bad, friggin' all kinds of bad stuff. So a little disclaimer for people that are interested in breeding or just getting a bulldog puppy. And this is specific with the bully breeds and bulldogs, because they are harder breed to do. But things a lot of people don't think of is females having miscarriages. Like, there's no guarantee a female is going to get pregnant, and then she does get pregnant, and you spend all this money trying to get her pregnant, and then she has a miscarriage. She has them too early. She gets overheated, and then, which is, you know, your fault, and then has them too early, or just has them too early for no reason. We don't know why. Got some sickness, had them too early. There's lots of reasons why they have miscarriages, or all the puppies were born stillborn, or water babies, or all kinds of things. And you know, they already put a lot of time, effort, years of raising that female from a puppy, probably purchasing the female. So that's a huge thing in itself. Also, females not being able to get pregnant, just like humans. Dogs could not get pregnant because they're unable to get pregnant. Their tubes are weird. They don't drop eggs. Their uterus is unhealthy. Something. And again, I have females that have not got pregnant. I've had them for 3 or 4 years, and it's invested a lot of time, energy, money, and they're not pregnant. And now I love them, so I'm just keeping them, you know. And maybe they will, but I don't think they're going to. And that's just part of it, you know. But I won't just buy an adult female. Is one, I like to produce in my stuff. I like to know her lines, her pedigree, her health, her temperament, all that stuff. But on top of that, lots of times people that are selling adult dogs, you know, 1 or 2 year old dog never been bred, it's because they've tried to breed the dog and it doesn't take. And I made that mistake when I first started trying to expedite the process. I bought a female from a shady person, I guess, because they were shady and the female never took. And he was a breeder. He's like, oh, I just don't have time. I'm getting other dogs. But then now I come to find out that the reason he sold it to me is because she couldn't take. And that's another thing. So females not taking, medical complications, all kinds of medical things can happen to your dog. Your dog, which has happened to me, got into one of those they're called cane toads, but they're really, people call them bufo frogs or whatever in South Florida. Very poisonous. My dog got bit one of those, got poisoned, had to take the vet, $4,000 in medical bills to keep her alive. She lived, but that was a huge problem. 1 to 3 puppies per litter. Sometimes you do everything right. You could do things wrong too, but you do everything right, and you only have 1 to 3 puppies because that's how many eggs she dropped. And meanwhile, you're having all these problems, or you could have all these problems, potential problems, 1, 2, multiple, whatever, while you're trying to maintain great care, great environment for the dogs, keep them healthy, keep them safe, and all that. So my answer to everyone, there's lots of risks if you're going to breed dogs. And my answer to the people that want to get a dog from me or dog from anyone that does it properly, this is what I refuse to sacrifice quality, refuse to sacrifice the quality of my dog's life, their health, their safety, their food, everything, just to be able to make it so I can be lesser in price. You know, I just won't do it, you know, and my prices are where they are because I have to be able to, you know, treat my dogs right. And if you can support me and you want a dog from me and you can afford it, I appreciate you. And if you can't and you still support me, I really appreciate it. But just understand, I'm not trying to get rich, you know, and I really love my dogs and I need to support myself and treat my dogs right. So it costs a lot, like a real lot. And of course, the way I'm doing it is above and beyond. You know, there's not many people, and I'd like to say pretty much nobody in the world doing what I'm doing as far as, you know, the health, the care, the everything, the happiness and safety of the dogs, building a 3,000 square foot facility for the dogs. That's totally overkill with, you know, backup ACs and generators and all this stuff. But that's just what I am. That's what I like to do, and I love it. So there's no one building a $10,000 chicken coop just to make fresh eggs for the dogs to supplement their food to make them healthier. You know, no one's doing that, and I am. And I don't expect everyone to do what I'm doing, but if you get a dog from me, you know it's getting treated right, you know? And the disclaimer is for people, this whole little speech is for people that are looking to get an English Bulldog, because if you're looking to get an English Bulldog and you want a dog that's been bred, you know, properly, that has good health in mind, that has temperament in mind, that has that has all these things, you're not gonna get it for cheap. It's impossible to get your dog for cheap. Not impossible, but it's an anomaly. You know, it's very rare. Because just to be able to breed ethically, like for example, you have a female and then she develops hip problems. So now you don't you raised her until she was 1.5 to breed her, and now you don't breed her, because I've had that happen to me because she didn't grow up properly, and obviously that hip problem can get genetically passed to her puppies. That's a huge waste of time, effort, money. Not a waste. I love the dog still, but it's a big letdown, you know. But I have the financial ability to not force myself to breed that dog, and now I can up the quality of my line and not breed her. So that's tons of money as well too. So to get a dog that looks good, that's structurally good, that's functional, runs, jumps, and as healthy as possible, especially in the Bulldog line, it's gonna cost. Period. You know, and for you, if you're doing that, as far as like you want to produce that, it's gonna cost. So that's my disclaimer. A lot of things that people don't think about. You know, there's also the crazy anomalies where like your dog get hit by a car and it's probably your fault, or a spider could bite your dog and kill your dog, or something. You know, something crazy like that people don't think about. So there's so many risks to it, and so many risks that are very uncontrollable. Not completely, but extremely hard to control. So it's something that buyers and breeders don't take into account a lot until you experience it, and by the time you experience it, it's already too late. So you want to really, I encourage you, whether you're a pet owner or, you know, breeder, pet, both. I don't like just breeders, you know. I'm a pet owner, breeder, but I'm a pet and breeder. I'm not just a breeder. My dogs are pets as well. But whether you're any of those, I encourage you to pull from my words, because I'm not just saying this like because I'm just randomly, like I've seen it happen. I've had dogs bit by spiders. I've had, you know, bad things happen. I've ACs break. I've had, you know, parvo. I've had all those things come in, and I now know how to deal with it. And now, because I've dealt with that, I am better at foreseeing the future problems and dealing with those before they even occur. So I'm doing this to help you, and on top of that, to make it so your dogs are safe, you're safe, your pet's safe, your all that stuff is safe, because now you can pull from my experience. And I love this. And like I said before, please leave comments down below if you can think of any other circumstances, if you have any input, any information, any questions, all that, because it just helps us grow. Just like I'm doing this to help everyone and make us all become better as breeders, as pet owners, as bulldog owners, all that. You leaving comments below and asking questions or giving information that that I don't know or other people know helps us all together, and then maybe someone else gives information and that helps you. So we gotta come together. A lot of people and a lot of people in the dog world like to keep everything secret, and they're very competitive in a bad way, in the sense that they don't wish everyone to do good, and it just doesn't help us grow. Like if I help you, you help me, and we all that, then we get better exponentially. So it's good. I appreciate your support. Make sure you subscribe down below, click the bell, follow us on TikTok, follow us on here on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, all those things. And let's show off Mr. President. I know we showed him off before. He's our micro stud, super nice. I'm gonna show him off, and I'm gonna show Milkman off too, because I think Milkman's gonna be a micro as well too, and we're gonna show his development too. So let's go. Mr. President, over 2 years old, tiny, tiny, tiny. He's micro, 10.6 inches tall, true. Like a lot of people like to lie, or I don't know, say weird numbers, but he's just tiny. Look at him. He's such a tiny boy. And then we have Milkman, who I think is going to be in that micro range too, under 11 inches. He's already almost 6 months old and staying tiny. I think he's gonna be a bigger version of Mr. President, weight wise, but I think he's gonna be really nice. But the biggest thing with bulldogs is you want them to be thick and compact with minis and micros. So if Milkman was right now, he's already 20, he's already heavier than President. He's already 20, 25, 30 pounds. If he was 15 pounds this size, he'd be skinny. So he wouldn't even be English Bulldog, really, So you want them to be thick. Now, I don't want them to be crazy overweight, but you want them to have some weight to them. So the biggest thing with the mini and micro is the compactness, You want micro to be 11 and under, and then mini to be between 11 and 13. And these boys are tiny. And what I love about them, Milkman, come on. What I love, look at, functional, running, breathing great. He's my little boy, my buddy. I love this boy. And he's in his ugly stage. And a lot of people ask me, what's ugly stage mean? Just like teenagers, I've said this before. When they're in that middle age, before they're adults, they get a little lanky. They're not thick. Their bones aren't thick. Their head's not big, and they look bad, or the worst they're gonna look. Milkman is in that lanky, ugly stage, and he still looks great. So my expectations for Milkman, huge. Present, let's give him some water. Right now, it's going into spring, leaves are falling, yard's a mess. We're going to actually topsoil. Maybe next episode we'll have the yard being topsoiled and getting ready to seed it, because the dogs ruined it, and we also had to fill it in. So the yard's a mess right now, but it'll be better soon. There's so much to do. That's another thing too. People ask me why the dogs are priced where they're at. It's I have a big facility, so the dogs have a huge facility, huge space, tons of area to run, and it takes a lot of maintenance and upkeep. Just the yard alone, where dogs are running around, going in the woods and stuff, they're ripping up the yard and trying to make it nice and do everything, and that's going on. Oh, speaking of dogs, I'm going to be in the next month now we get the facility starting to get solidified. We're going to be starting to work on the back pen for them, the 150 by 70 pen, with the pools. I'm going to have 6-inch deep concrete pools with fresh spring water from our well, and all kinds of little things from the plan. So that's going to be really cool. I'm super excited about that. That's going to be awesome. And again, just look at President. And one thing about about bulldogs is they are water dogs. They are not swimmers. They like to go in the water like up to their chest. They love it. That's why I have this big thing for them. It's like I have a couple of these, and I have the blue pools too. But until we get our filtered, you know, spring water pools, that's all we got. Present, come. Milkman's here. Present don't feel like running right now. He's being lazy. Honestly, yeah. And then structurally, these boys are great. You can see like they have nice backs, they have good stances, they have good bone. I mean, Milkman, like I say, he's so young and he's already looking amazing. I just can't wait. Milkman, come on, Milkman, come on, come here. No, come. You don't even know about this thing. Come here. Hey boy, I love you. And this is you know, for people getting pets, of course everyone can have good pets, you know, getting them at any age, but I always strongly recommend getting them as little puppies. It's the best. I know it takes a lot of work, potty training, all that stuff, but the connection they get with you is way bigger. Present, what's up, boy? So a big thing, I like a huge criteria, and I will never have a bulldog that can't do this, is a bulldog has to go upstairs. And that's a common question I get from people that can they go upstairs? And I'm like, what do you mean? I've never had a bulldog that can't go upstairs. And a bulldog that can't go upstairs is either super overweight or horribly bred. They should all be able to go upstairs. Milkman, you saw him just climb up on this thing, and that's higher than most stairs. And I'm not a Milkman, Present. And he's a micro, but they should all be able to go upstairs. I would never breed a dog that can go upstairs, and that's a must for me. Anyone that breeds bulldogs, you have to have them go upstairs, and then go downstairs too. Present, come on, let's go. Present, come. He might not want to come now, but now he's up there. Present, come, let's go. And he'll jump off that thing. He'll jump off the top. Everything, you know. Present, let's go. Come on, Present, come on. Present, come on, let's go. Come on. Milkman's crazy. Let's go, guys. Come on. Present, Milk, let's go. So I'm telling Cowboy right now, and those of you who don't know, Cowboy is the camera guy. He does all this stuff. He makes this happen, makes the show happen. But this, I'm taking this up now to wash it. This is what I do with the dogs. This is like egg mousse or whatever. So I feed the dogs the fresh eggs. And what I do, I'll stand over here. And what I do is we hard boil the eggs. The bulldogs, or my bulldogs specifically, I found don't really like the raw eggs that much. So I hard boil them, and then I take them with shell and everything for calcium, and I put them in a blender, and then to make it so they will mix, I put water in there and mix it, and it comes up here. I'll show you a video of me doing it. And I mix this into their food, so it's like supplements their food, adds more nutrients, adds healthy proteins, healthy fats, healthy cholesterol into their meal plan. So I know eggs are like a superfood, and I like my dogs to eat it because on top of, you know, making them so they keep a nice structure, not a structure, they look, you know, nice weight, their coat is healthy, they're also healthier immune system wise, which means they're more resistant against getting sick, more resistance against getting hurt, all those things. So it's just so beneficial making sure you take care of your dogs. And then I like to see them looking the best possible as well too. So this is what I do, and I do this because imagine having to cook, you know, 15 eggs every morning, or hard boil 15 eggs every morning and then peel them. So I put them in the shell and grind them up, shell and all, because the shell is good calcium, healthy calcium, and that's what I do. So that's what we're getting with the dogs. We're gonna keep on getting their diet better and better. We're gonna start growing our own greens and raising our own quail. So that's coming next. Common question I get is because they're mini and micro, do they have more health problems? And I've answered this before, but I'm answering it right now. The answer is yes and no. So as a whole, bulldogs are predisposed to lots of problems, and getting from the wrong line, wrong breeder, wrong program, you are gonna get a super unhealthy dog. And minis and micros have got that stigma because a lot of people, when they first started producing minis and micros, they made them smaller, but didn't care about anything else, didn't care about health, temperament, and all that stuff. So yes, there was a lot of problems there. But as a whole, I've said this before, I like to say my minis and my micros are healthier than 99% of all bulldogs in the world, because most aren't bred, to my standards. So minis and micros can be unhealthy, and they can be very healthy. Same thing with standards. That being said, Mr. President is very healthy. I love the fact that he can sprint, he can run, he can jump, he can go upstairs, he can go downstairs, he can go up three flights at a time, and I love that because he's an asset to the breed. He's a great stud. People use him all over the world as a stud, so he's producing more of himself. So that's great, and I will never have a mini micro that's not functional. That's why I'm really excited for Milkman, because I have high hopes for Milkman. I think he's going to be a better version of everybody. I think he's going to be bigger headed, super thick, good structure, and extremely functional and extremely nice and good temperament. So we're just getting better. The next Mr. President is going to be better, and we're going to keep on raising the bar and all those things. I'm not trying to just get better structure. I'm trying to get better structure, better health, better temperament, and grow from there, and then better puppies and everything. I'm not trying to take part. I'm trying to take over. No, but for real, I want to make everything better, and it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of dedication, but that's what we're doing. So that's episode 22 of DaBestBulls Ranch. I appreciate your support so much. Make sure you leave comments down below. Make sure you click subscribe, click the bell, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram, follow us here. And if you have any comments, let me know. Once again, stay tuned for episode 23 and the rest of the DaBestBulls stuff. And if this is the first time watching me, or you haven't watched all the other episodes, and you're a breeder, you're a pet owner, you like bulldogs, you want to see more bulldogs, you want to get a bulldog, any of those things, you need to be watching all my episodes. Thank you so much, and stay tuned.